On today's episode, we're going to talk about starting your year 2022 and behind the scenes in an industry. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for showing up. Like I said, as I always say, thanks for lending me your ears. You're watching on the live streams or on YouTube. Thank you for lending me your ears and eyes. It's a blessing to be in a position I am today to grow this podcast over certain amount of years. But first, let's knock out a couple things. First, what is JAMODI? JAMODI Podcast. JAMODI stands for Just a Matter of Doing It. It is a saying that has been passed down in my family. It's tattooed on my arm. I have it cut out of steel, hung up on the wall. It's something I've lived my life. And what the JAMODI Podcast is a message to send out there to help another person take a positive step forward, or spread more positivity in this negative world we live in, especially with how people like to be keyboard warriors on the internet and whatnot. So I'm here to do what my passion is. What I used to do in the past was run facilities, and now I'm in real estate world, and I'm still making impact on those people with the trust they put in me, and then also with the message I have on this podcast. And it's just something I like to do. I don't monetize my podcast. I do this out of pure passion and just something I feel like it's something for me to do, my purpose in life, and that's to help other people. So let's talk about the podcast today. Today's about starting your 2022 and behind the scenes of an industry, any industry for that matter. And as you guys know, if you've watched the podcast, if you listen to the podcast on iTunes or watch it on on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, you guys know that I have a bullet points list to kind of go over them, because I know you guys' attention span can be short. So let's go over and talk about. I need to stop saying talk about, right? Let's move on from that word. Let's go over some of the topics I have for today's show, and that's starting in 2022. Let's go ahead and just dive into that. Before I get really hardcore into the topics, I've taken a break from doing this podcast, and today I woke up, and last week I started to get the urge of being ashamed of myself of not being consistent on doing these podcast show and living through my passion to help other people and spread a positive message. And so I kind of wanted to make these topics over the feelings that I've been going through personally, because we all go through different personal feelings and stuff. So one thing is, there's no, I want you, before we get into let's start in 2022, there's no such thing as a overnight success. And there's been people out there have said that, oh, he was just an overnight success or one hit wonder or something like that, but there was always back work done. Like, for an example, all my deals for my real estate industry that have come to fruition the first week of the year, which was last week, and then the second week of the year. This all started last year. All these the contacts I made, and I'm going to help you relate to this too. Even if you're not in real estate and you're doing something else, or you're trying to make sales, or if you're just doing something else at work, or if you're just trying to land a friendship and make that network help you get to where you want to go. These establishments were done last year, prior to when it happened. So I made the establishment of the contact of the person. I then got that, had that person or contact trust me enough with their livelihood to help them make an educated decision on their real estate needs. And then I moved to the point where there was a consistent amount of marketing and trust and a reassurance to my client that I'm taking care of their property or their search. And then it came through fruition this year. Now, I wanted to start with that topic. No, there's no overnight success, because in today's world, we live in this a world where people think that there needs to be instant gratification, and I think that we can all fault that mostly on social media, because there's people that have edited photos that's really not them, and they're really not that fit, or they don't have those curves, or anything like that, or people that persuade that they're leaving fly first class everywhere when they're sitting in coach. They take a photo before they go back. I mean, there was a model that got caught on that. That was hilarious, but people don't persuade who they really are on Instagram or Facebook or social media and actually see who they are in real life. They could rent a Lamborghini. They don't own it. They're paying twice as much for that thing. Or just things on that line. And so instant gratification it doesn't exist. Okay? It doesn't happen. So overnight success is not there. So just deal with it and quit being weak. Okay? There'd be times in my podcast where I get real stern, but you guys got to stop being the B word. Okay? So quit being I'm just going to say bitches. Okay? Don't be doing that. All right. Now another thing is, with your new year is, success is never achieved alone. Well, all of you people think that you're lone wolves, you're lone rangers. I do this all by myself. Yeah, you can be self-made, but you did that with somebody else. Someone else's encouragement, someone else that had made a transaction with you. That was another person. You didn't, just go in your backyard and start shoveling the ground and plant this little thing, and then money came out of it and you were success, right? Everybody has a success journey with someone else's. So now here's a lesson on that. Burned bridges and negative attitudes always lead to failure. So your perception is reality, okay? Your perception is reality. So if you're negative on social media, if you're negative in front of your friends, or you're burning bridges with old friendships and other things like that, you're not gonna build any trust for a network down the road that would refer you business or refer you a friendship or have a shoulder to lean on when you need it, when you're down in your dumps and you need some a little encouragement from a friend. We all need that. I needed that this morning, and that person knows who you are, and I really do appreciate you. So thank you for that. My point of that is that last year, I'm just kind of going back and forth so you can relate to my story, and then you can also kind of use your story to relate to the situation, the topic we're talking about. Is that last year people trusted in me and trusted with me their livelihood to take care of their real estate needs, so I was able to do that quickly in the new year, which was great for their tax books and all that stuff. They got it done earlier in the year. So that's enough on that topic, all right? So like I said, I want to keep these podcasts as sweet so you can keep your attention on me, so I don't lose you too quick. The next thing would be establishing habits. And we could go down a long road, and I'm going to have another podcast, the next podcast, number 47, and it's going to be strictly on accountability and how to establish those habits to bring you to success. But today we're going to talk about habits that will take you down a road that you want to drive on that you've been dreaming about. All right, think about it. Let that soak in. Habits that will take you down a road that you dreamt about driving on. That could be going down that path or that road to that new home you wanted to live in, that trip you wanted to go on, or that vacation, or that gift you want to give your significant other to show them how much you care and how much you worked to get to that, or that person you want to meet so you can get to this position to accomplish this goal. What are those habits are you going to be doing? Are you going to be getting up early? Are you going to be able to making that many more phone calls, following up with text messages, emails, doing better social media campaigns for yourself to promote positive outlook on who you are as a person and your personality, what are you giving back to society? Because that in all becomes a magnet to you. And that's what I totally believe. And it's not always like I'm trying to get something out of this, but I truly believe in life. If you put enough positivity in this world, it's just going to come back to you like a magnet. And this is my way of giving to the world. So therefore, I can live a great life knowing that I did what I could do to help others. But at the same time, I know some way, shape, or form that I'm going to attract anything I can do to be a really good husband, a good person, someone that my friend can count on, and I just want to be there for friends. And so that's my habits, and this is one of those habits I got to get better at. So that's just another way of me relating to the topics here. Networking with your peers. So I'm kind of like jumping into, this is starting in 2020 and also behind the scenes. All this stuff is behind the scenes in any industry that you're in, no matter what you do, even if you don't have a job. It's an industry that you're trying to go towards that road to get to where you want to go, that you dreamt of driving on. So networking with your peers, people that you want to be like-minded people that you want to discuss business with, people that understand your goals and don't think you're dumb for having them. That is one of the biggest things. Okay, negative people or people that are stupid, ignorant, dumb will always be the people that think that your goals are unrealistic and you're stupid for having them. So surround yourself with people that are going to be pumped as soon as you say the sentence of your goal, understanding that the goal is that they don't think that you're dumb. And, a lot of people probably see this on social media a lot of time, and it's just, I hate saying the word, but it's just something that the world lives around, the social media. And this is one of the big things. If you want to be successful, and if you're listening to this and you're that person, I'm sorry if I offend you, but this is just how I feel, and that's what I'm supposed to do, spread positivity and let people think, this has been a big positive thing. The people that are, don't be around people that are always in the bar. Always throwing money, and they know they can't afford it. They're just throwing money and just pissing away their income when they can be investing it in something for their future. Now, trust me, I was in that position before. We were all young. I was going to the bar a lot. I was drinking, but I can tell you one thing. I was never tossing money at people. I was never trying to be in the spotlight so I could be on social media, so I could look like somebody that I'm not, right? Even those people that do make good money, I promise you, it probably would be a good idea to invest that cash you're throwing in the air to something that would be an investment for you down the road, because cash and fame like that is never going to be good for you down the road. So that's that. One thing that I wanted to kind of leave you guys with, and in this podcast, short and sweet, is that I wanted you guys to just think about this. It's not that you can't, it's because you won't. Think about that. It's not because you can't, it's because you won't. And it's important you let that sink in and establish those habits to take you down that road that you dreamed about. I appreciate you showing up. Appreciate you guys. So leave me a comment, feedback, star, whatever it is. I'll see you next time. Take care.